Hello, hello, hello. Oh, there we go. Whew. I was like, uh-oh, no sound. Yeah, that's what I was doing, Earl. I was like, hello, is it working? Yeah, Kip had hit the mute switch. So, yeah, never a dull moment with these kids. Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Kip will be joining us in probably 20 minutes. Melissa has a call at like 10, so she's going to dump him off right ahead of time. She's going to try to get him asleep. So we'll see if we have a groggy kid or if we have a kid on a power nap. Ooh, that's super loud. Man, he unplugged the headset, and now all the volume is all crazy. All right, so let's roll here. Yeah, so again, Stream Elements is who I kind of use for the overlays and stuff for the stream. They always add kind of cool stuff in. One of them being, I don't know, this dual feature. So it looked like it was pretty interesting. You can click exclamation point dual space type somebody's name and then space up to 50 pip chips, and it does like a random duel against each other, and you guys could duel pip chips. I did put timers on it though, so you guys can't go crazy, but it has to be accepted. So after someone duels you, you have to hit, I guess, exclamation point accept is what I think it is. Yeah, exclamation point accept. So it looked kind of cool. I was like, that looks like it could be fun. Throw that in there. You know, see how it works. Just add some fun stuff. Um, I can't. Yeah, I don't think I can do it. Actually, you know what? Maybe I can. Hold on one sec. This could be fun. Just to see if it works. Like I said, I can't test it out. Um, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Um, obviously, Pound having some movement. We all know that Boris is stepping down. I think he's just finally had it. Let's see. Hold on, I'm trying to spell people's name correctly. Manser. Let's see if that works. Nope, does not. It's supposed to do something else. Huh. Did I spell it right? No, did I spell your name right? I feel like I spelled your name right. Hmm. I don't know why it's not working. I don't know. I'll have to mess with it later and see if it gives us any messages or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, so with Boris stepping down, there's a little bit of pound movement, but I wouldn't say that it's crazy amounts of pound movement. It was already starting to go in that direction. And then, man, a little while ago came out with this and was talking about how in the near term, tighter U.S. monetary policy tends to boost the UK inflation because of the weaker pound. Yes and no. I think it looks like it's corrected me. Uh, her statement is very interesting, right? High inflation expectations may feed into inflation today. Yes, that makes sense, right? Um, the uncertainty about inflation process strengthens the case for front-loading interest rate rises. Your 5 interest rate rises in, so yeah, I don't know, right? I'm confused about that one, right? Not sure. Again, not sure how that works, right? Um, Yeah, I don't know why we're talking about front loading. It's just such a strange thing. But anyway, yeah, so I mean talking about a weaker pound, stronger dollar, again, it's there. Robust monetary policy here, to avoid near-term augmentation of inflation dynamics is appropriate in today's environment. Basically, she's just making some speeches. So nothing super crazy on that front. The unemployment claims number obviously came in a little bit higher than expected. There has been some talk here, talking about, job cuts are increasing, but we saw the job openings are still there. Um, just fun, Neuro. Just fun. Um, yeah, and it should have worked. I'm not sure why it didn't. Like I said, it's supposed to be exclamation point. Like I'm looking at it, and it says how to do it. Um, yeah. Can I change that? No. Nope. It's supposed to be that. Yeah. I mean, the 8 ball works. I've done the 8 ball before. Neuromancer, 9K. Whoops, 9K, and let's change it to this. Is there a save function? That's what I really need. Oh, it says saved. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Yep, I couldn't find that user. So, oh, I put necromancer instead of neuromancer. So I guess it's there, right? It helps when you guys have the right spelling, right? I'm so bad at spelling. 9K100. Let's see if that works. Nope. I don't know why it's not giving a message. It's strange. It knew that the message wasn't there. I don't know. I'll have to mess with it. Yeah, not gonna work. But you had it right the first time. Yeah, I don't know. Like there's all kinds of things in here. Bingo, raffle, they got all kinds of stuff. So anyway, there's my fun for the morning. Besides that, Bullard is speaking at 1 o'clock today. I think that'll be pretty important. See what we'll have to see. Um, you know, Boris Johnson resigns after more than 50 MPs of quick government. I'm not actually surprised by this at all. Um, again, as I mentioned, Boris is kind of on borrowed time. He was brought in to get Brexit done. That's why the vote happened in the first place. He got Brexit finished up the way that they had wanted. And then again, because of COVID, he kind of hung around after that, just because it's like, wait a second, we can't, switch things up. So now that COVID is not as big of a factor and the Ukraine is just grinding on, it was really time for him to roll through anyway. And that's pretty common for UK politics. So it'll be interesting to see who comes in next and where that kind of drives monetary policy and things. Um, Obviously inflation is going to be the big thing, and obviously going forward, the cost of commodities and everything else, but it's really coming back from the pandemic is really going to be the main issue right now, and it's going to be the job that the next person has to tackle. So we'll see. Like I said, I don't see I don't know who the names are or anything like that. I haven't followed it that closely, but there will be another person that comes in. They'll have a whole new agenda, and it's kind of like um, there'll be no Wild Wild West doing today. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like a beta feature. I don't know. Maybe it just won't let me dual neuro. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? There is. Let's see. I can do that too. I can change that. I'll figure it out. I mean, like I said, the 8 ball thing works. I don't know. So anyway, again, that will start, kind of moving the pound around a little bit. Elon Musk in there again, but nothing really crazy. We do have oil inventory today. If you guys go across to the EI website talking about oil inventories, they are mentioning that the next report is due on July 7th. So I'm assuming we're going to get it today. It actually doesn't list over here. I don't know if Forex Factory is just having some issues with it or not. But I would assume because natural gas storage, I'm assuming it'll come in at 11 o'clock today. But I did check on it. I'm like, why is it not listing? It's obviously a bigger release than natural gas, but I know that they were kind of getting mad about, inventories and people. It's kind of like, hey, listen, if we don't tell the people what it is, they can't complain about it, right? I don't know if that's a new policy or what, but it is supposed to be today. I'm assuming it's coming in at 11 o'clock. And then again, you can't see the full report online as well. As far as kind of things that we're dealing with, let me get lower this back down, bring this across, and go till tomorrow. You can see tomorrow, obviously, we have some big data out there. We have the non-farm employment numbers. Again, it is, really kind of the first Friday. Um, Employment change numbers for Canada, nothing too crazy there. Average earnings, again, we know inflation is rising at this rate, so again, having it rise at this kind of doesn't change. I think the non-farm number tomorrow will be important. Remember, the unemployment rate before was expected to be lower, and it held. Now they're like, no, 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 we're going to keep that 3.6. Um, again, so it did come in higher. I think they've just given up and said, wait a second, it's been 3.6 3 times in a row. It did come down. It's not lowering, so this would be the one that they miss. But I think the non-farm number is going to be important today. Um, Really kind of see, are we hiring? Are we not hiring? Remember, the JOLTS data, it was a higher than expected um, job openings still out there by like zero point 0.2 mil. So a pretty substantial amount. But we'll see again, is the non-farm employment change number really going to start being affected by, again, recessionary fears, and again, that's where you're kind of seeing it up here, some articles on it, you know, and look, they're even saying it this time around. NFP could rock the markets, right? Not so to this, but because of the underlying talk of recession keeps growing, and NFP is one of the first, complete data sets. So I think for tomorrow morning, 8:30, there could be some major fireworks. Again, with that non-farm number, and we'll see. Um, again, Bullard may throw a wrench in it today, but again, non-farm could be a real big one for tomorrow, especially after the chop that we've had this week. Right, we've had a lot of chop just going ding, 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 bouncing back and forth. So, you know, I would say that that's kind of probably more what's on the radar. Okay. Let's go over into the chart. So Aussie dollar. Yesterday, the low of the day was really right at that 12 o'clock time frame. It was in a zone. I think we had marked it off. I mean, it's basically the bottom of the fib range here, and that's all we ran into. We hit it, we hit it, we hit it again. So it's not a zone we're really necessarily looking to take another long off of. It has, it has respected it a few different times at this point. I think on a minor time frame, if we did this, it's probably right around the 6 and 1/8 is where the turn was this morning at 5:30. Remember, you know, 3 p.m. here's the open, right? Remember the most common reversal times, right? There's 3 o'clock. There's 5:30. 5:30 hitting a 61.8. That's when you expect to see the reversals. Again, was it a huge move? Nah, not really. Nothing. I mean, it wasn't crazy. From that level, about 30 pips, right? And now it's just kind of stabilizing itself. But again, it's one of those times that you say, hey, listen, this is a reversal time. If I'm long, it's been straight up. I need to kind of turn and roll. So that's where we're at right now. I still think the top and bottom are still pretty decent in here. Again, we may have a little bit of a, I'd say there's maybe the possibility of a front run area right here. And again, depending on what time we get up there for news, I don't know if we can rally all the way back up again for non-farm. That could be a time to get short. But right now, I kind of like the confirmed level up top. And again, this one is also confirmed a little bit, but I like to push just a little bit higher, get the extra bodies in at 50. And that's at 69.12, right? Versus this kind of, again, this is more kind of situational than anything else at 68.94. Um, we'll see where it goes for the rest of today. Again, with non-farm being such a big deal tomorrow, we'll see really kind of what happens with this. All right. Um, Again, 69.12 up top and 67.34 on the bottom. Aussie yen kind of doing the same thing. I mean, there's kind of the Harry Potter move that we talked about yesterday. And again, if you were here, we mentioned it yesterday. It broke through at 1 o'clock this morning. This was an overnight trade. Did not get the entry here. Here's your push up and your base and your pullback. And as you can see, that was a nice little run of about 60 pips to the top side. And it basically busted through right at 5:30 before turning and reversing back to the downside. So easy overnight trade. If you guys were here yesterday, we talked about this racetrack and where it could go to, and now it's just kind of stabilizing back in. Most likely, it comes back up in this 93.37-ish area where we saw the sellers before. Again, this is more of that European reversal, but easy Harry Potter based trade if you guys were able to catch it. Like I said, I mean, this is the ideal. This is the ideal base, right? Came up, base for 2 candles, pulled back into that zone, and then took off. So, gotta be happy with that one. So hopefully you guys were able to snag the 60 on that. Right now, I still like the 93.79 up top, and down below, like I said, there's a level that's been hit a few different times in here. You know, right around the 91.58ish, probably 91.60 is probably closer to where it's at. Right now, it's quite far from it. So, I mean, I hesitate to talk, but I mean, we're talking about 130 pips. For a proxy, that's you got a lot of movement on that one. But yeah. So hopefully you guys were able to take advantage of that one in the overnight. One of the few trades from setup yesterday that went through to fruition. Aussie, I'm sorry, the euro. So euro, we had that trade down there that I talked about in. I actually closed it down early. That's what I was kind of doing when I was holding. Got in for I think it was like 14.75 is what I got in when I talked about it on Chart School. It spiked down past out of the money, came back up and spiked a second time actually on the smaller time frame. And the way it was basing, it's like what it doesn't. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna close below, and it didn't. I ended up getting out for it was like a 1 to 2. Nothing substantial, but again, we should have had more movement, and it's really holding firm at this level. So, that trade is out from yesterday. Small little nitix position. Obviously the Harry Potter trade, we already were kind of looking for that one to go to the downside. So again, that was completed at 8:30 yesterday. And right now it's just we're basically in the same exact spot. You can see that it's 0.02, right? So it's sitting there. Again, the next major level, I think, again, because we had such nice movement off that level up top, if I had to put kind of peaks on this one, I would say that 102.64 up top is probably decent. Particularly with non-farm coming up. But then on the flip side, we know that we have a larger time frame level down here. And this one is so close to parity. Look at this. I mean, we're literally right at that. One is actually down here, but this is the next major range that it's got to get through. So, yeah. So we're kind of within striking distance, right? We got 83 there, and then 70 up top. It can lead us in either direction for rollovers. I think this one would be pretty decent to play tomorrow for non-farm in particular. So kind of would like to see what it does today. And again, right now it's not doing anything. It's literally going sideways. In 24 hours, it's a move 5 pips. So just not a major mover out there right now. Okay. Euro pound continue to drop down. And again, we had targets down here. We talked about how 85 was going to be a big number and where there was a probable bounce. And again, it did take a bounce and then it's pushing lower. Obviously, with Boris, kind of stepping down, that is a geopolitical event. Whenever you have a leader kind of doing things, stepping down, getting busted for COVID ragers. Um, you got to watch out for it. Right now, again, we have a couple different areas here. The 85 number being a big psychological number. It's pushed deep, so it wasn't necessarily the best. There was this little yellow target right below, and then we had some buyers coming in down here at 84, 81. And then that was a racetrack to the downside. You can see that we had this kind of big pusher to the down. So I think we're in an interesting spot where there's a lot going on here. We've already kind of taken one balance. We're getting ready to hit that second one, and we know we got a third one in there. This one's going to be a little bit hard. Again, seeing who the next candidate and what their stance is going to be. Kind of a hard one, right? You got to kind of make that determination. Like, all right, who's it going to be? What's the stance going to be, and where are they going to go with it? Buddy, you good back there? Are you good? Yeah. Um, So I kind of want to wait to see where the next shoe is going to drop on this one. What's the stance going to be? Where are they going to, what are they going to say? Right. So again, keep that on your radar. If anything, I'd say that, look for a potential bounce. But again, I think because of the geopolitical situation, obviously, stepping down, next person coming in, what are their policies? What do their speeches look like? How aggressive they're going to be? Are they going to try to be friend with Russia, foe with Russia? What is it going to look like is going to weigh a lot on where the pound recovery is. So it's an event. It's kind of like a powder keg. The fuse is lit, but we just don't know what direction it's going to go. So show a little bit of restraint in the euro pound right now if you're in it. Euro yen, a couple different positions in this one. Let's see. So from yesterday, right? Yesterday morning, we were sitting right here, right? We talked about kind of being at a level, looking for pullbacks. Let's pull this one off. Yeah, buddy. Um, yeah. So you can see that the 23.6 kind of went back and forth and started to be choppy. It didn't really go high enough to really do much. Um, I'd say right now, I mean, the 139, I'm sorry, the 139.80 is probably the biggest one you're looking for. Um, right now, again, we're at 0.00 over here. If you're looking at this one, there we go. Now it's cruising 0.02% down. Um, so not quite moving that much. Again, I'd like to see this one pushed to an extreme. Being that the yen is involved, it will be a proxy for tomorrow. So I'd kind of like to see it rally up or down into the 109. I'm sorry, the 139.80 range. I think that's a decent range up top. Get some fib help, or down here the 136.82. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, hmm, yeah, we kind of need a little bit more, right? Kind of need a little bit more. So, yeah, I don't know. We need to clear the range, and right now it's just not really moving enough. I did want to highlight too. There was a where was it? Right here, right? I don't know if you guys are following. Again, here's a trade I always like to highlight when you guys post things up there. Ryan had a nice little trade right here, and again talked about these ascending wicks. There was the trade that Ryan set up for his 1 to 3 last night, and again overnight position for himself. I don't know if he was awake for it or not. I think it was probably more of a set and forget type trade, right? But there would have been Ryan's position from the overnight. He looked at this kind of, again, ascending candles, a drop, a base sideways with a little bit of a hiccup, and then a strong push out again. So, again, this was Ryan's trade. He posted it online. I just want to make sure that I showed all you guys that one because it's always nice when you guys are posting these trades. So, great little trade set up there by Ryan. I meant to show that before. Pound dollar. So, pound dollar is moving around a little bit. And again, we're seeing some up and down. And we talked about a level that had been kind of punched through, right? It hit here, basing in there, and then kind of pulled back and touched it again. So it's not really a level we need to do much off of. This one's up 0.7, but again, geopolitical, really since the Boris news came out, it did pull back down again and is, then kind of rallying forward. Looking at this on a larger scale, It did kind of just punch through the 23, and it's got some room to run until we get up to the 50. So I mean, it did pump up, and there is actually a base sitting up there at the 50, but there may be a little bit of a front run on it. I think pound dollar again, as I mentioned before, it's a powder keg. Could we play this one tomorrow? Sure, you could. Is it, you know, is it going to be the best one? Here, buddy. Hey, here. Is it going to be the best one to play? Um, I'm going to say no, unless we get some major statements in the European session that drives this, or they're higher or lower. As I said, a change in political structure is a big deal. It is a big fundamental change, and non-farm payroll is just a data point. So, a couple different factors in there. I think it's a higher risk trade. We'll see where it runs. I'm gonna say they're probably on a lower time frame. Um, yeah, it went right off of 50 on that one. There's a zone there. There's a little zone right here. Not great, but there's a zone there. Actually, let's see. Does that come in at the 60? It's close. It's close. I was looking at this next little hiccup right here as a potential kind of target for today, right? Again, easy to see right there, kind of like a long target, right? How much room's it got? 63. Yeah, it probably comes up to there. That's not a bad. Again, there's a little bit of a move in there, but oops, there. Something along those lines, with kind of like a non-farm payroll kind of push, right? Um, I think that makes sense, right? Um, again, based off the news, again, if the UK likes it, they're like, "Oh, this is a great move. It's a strengthening of the UK." Yeah, I mean that's I think that's okay. Mm, HSTCB. Hmm. Actually, hold on. Let me see. Is there anybody else? No, just European-based news. Okay. So yeah, that could be a potential for tomorrow. Tomorrow morning early. Oops, where we at? Something along those lines. Right, coming up to the 2067. Again, getting short that before news tomorrow. Again, that would be a dollar strength based move. Again, non-farm data is not as bad as what they think. Again, push to the downside. Pound yen. So the pit bet gang tried to get me on this one, and they did not. I don't know if you guys can see this. You see that right there? Uh huh. It is 4.7 pips past where the target was. So take that, Pipette gang. Got you in the opposite direction. And this is a level we talked about yesterday. This is the second big one. The Aussie was the first. This is the second. We talked about it coming up, and again, seeing a level here, the 163.43. This one tagged it at 6 o'clock this morning, right past that 5:30 reversal. It was a 61.8 reversal as well. Came all the way back down, broke past, and again went a little bit deeper than what we like to, but it ended up coming through. It hit us 1 to 3, and now it's kind of retracing back up again. So it's up a 0.5%. Um, Nothing substantial. Um, oops. Um, all I can say is if we come back up to that level again, I think that could be a decent level to turn and roll. But remember, it is the pound. There could be a geopolitical kind of mention in this one, um, and could get crazy. Right? Is all I'm saying. Could get crazy. Hold on one sec. Let's see. One sec. I was getting messages on my phone. I was like, wait, what's going on? Um, all right. So Um, again, a nice little run on this one. This one was a much bigger mover, right? This one was about 110 pips to the downside. So great little catch in the overnight if you're able to grab it. 60 on the first, 110 for this one. Again, easy level. Hopefully you guys were able to grab it. Nice pullback, 61A confirmation. Push to the downside. I'd say if it comes back up there, it's probably worth one more short. But again, like I said, in addition, increased risk right now because of the pound. Dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, we talked about this one having a level of basing here. We really wanted to kind of push up and come back down again for tomorrow. It's already started to kind of push down again. And again, if you want to take a basing level right there, it is more set up for a short right now. And we are seeing some, oil strength come back in. Before we started, it was at 99. Right now, we're up 5%, up to 103.50. I would say that again, it's a trade we talked about. We were really kind of looking for a better zone up top, but whenever you see a big pushback and kind of a level of basing, you're looking for like kind of a break of that one. The entry on that one, this not really enough. This not really enough. This is kind of the base that you're looking for. So you may be short in this position running from 9 o'clock this morning, which would look like this, right? Your 1 to 3 is only right there. So it's not even really that far of a target. It's about 16 pips worth of risk for 49 in the opposite direction. It's got a pretty substantial room to run all the way back down to 128.40. It is going to take some CAD strength though to do this, but right now it's being driven by oil. And there is some news, obviously, but there is some oil news, but not much. And there's some CAD news as well. So again, you may be in this one. And again, we didn't mark this one off because there was better opportunities out there, but it's just a standard play on this. Dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss, we're still waiting for it to go. Dollar Swiss is up 0.2%, and you can see from yesterday at 10 o'clock, 10:30, it did nothing. It kind of went down a little bit, kind of came back up. Now it's up a little bit. Now it's pulling back down. Tomorrow, the economic sentiment in the morning, the EU economic forecast, may actually provide some opportunity in this one. Um, we'll kind of see where it goes, right? I think this is I don't want to say lower quality, but I think there's much better opportunity out there right now than a dollar Swiss. It's just not really moving enough. Dollar yen is kind of in a similar fashion, and you can see we had that nice push up from 135 yesterday at news time, and then we really just chop back and forth. It does have that similar level of basing right here that we like, and we like the racetrack aspect of this one. And again, if we do see overall dollar weakness today or yen strength, you can see that there is enough room here for a 1 to 3. It is a little bit deep. Typically we like to have our profit taken right here. And it is, oops, I moved it at the end. Hold on. Coordinates. Oh no, look at that. Dead on. Getting better. Look at that. Um, so it is an area where it's kind of like, do we look for a pushback down to 135.20? I think it's possible. Again, if we can make it through this area with the the 1030 reversal, I think it has the opportunity to come back down and restabilize itself down at 135. With everything that we have going on, it may or may not be beneficial. So, um, it's there. Like I said, after some of the bigger trades today, you may or may not need one, but I think this is a decent one looking into the future. Looking across at oil. So oil, we talked about kind of finding some bottoms, and again, we talked about this old level that was broken. It hit it, it broke through, it came back up again, and again, it did have a Harry Potter back from that level where it did come back up. Again, actually gave you two different entries. You could have done a smaller size entry right here, and again, worked out. Whoops, right there. Worked out totally fine. Smashed into the first level. The second level we knew we had sitting down there was at 96 flat, and that's what it used. It actually made it down to what 95.10, right? I'm sorry, 95.9. But again, it turned and rolled from that level. We knew we were going to have some down there, and then interesting enough, it came back and used that old level that was violated here, the 96.26. It used that to kind of springboard higher. So, right now we know that both these levels are out. We do know that there is a little tiny level sitting right here. You can see it, it's green. But anything above this, we know that we have a racetrack scenario going higher. So I hate to throw this one on there because I am not all about this, high gas price list or, high gas price of life, but that's what it's looking for. You can see it's an easy 1 to 3. You know, nice bit of movement from there. Again, I believe like I said, I don't follow oil on an everyday basis. I just look at it for chart school. It says the inventory report is coming out today, but like I said, I feel like they're hiding the data now because they don't want people to speculate on it. Which again, I don't know. Again, I don't know. Free market. Shouldn't we all have all the data we want? And I don't think right now. I think I can get it yet. Because next release July 7th, but when you go to the report is still June 24th. So we don't have the report yet. Yeah, it says holiday. It'll be Thursday. Yeah, at 11 a.m. So we'll get it at 11 o'clock, right? Yeah, so for July 4th, it's today at 11. But again, I don't know why Forex Factory is showing it. So we'll see what it looks like. Again, I think that could help move this around. Right now, if you're taking the most recent high to low, though, you can see that this area where we're at right now is a level. And we're seeing, again, a run up to it very, very fast. It is a 50% retracement level. So, Again, there may be the opportunity to take this parabolic retracement move back down to $100. And I actually don't hate that trade. Um, while we're talking about that, let me see. Hold on. Mm, let me check. Let me see if we got any knockouts over there. Let's do some crude oil knockouts. Huh. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah, there's quite a lot of premium in those. Um, you're at basically the top. I guess it's 40 cents in. It just, I mean, percentage wise, you're in the top 10% of the knockout bracket, and it's about $44 worth of risk for $100 gain in the opposite direction. It's moving. I mean, that requires a move of about $1.50 to the downside. Risking 50 to make 100. I don't know that I really like that much. Um, 97. Jesus, the binaries are jacked up too. $25 risk on a 101.20 requires a $2 bit of movement down. Man, there's a lot of premium jacked in these things today. And the bid ask spread is $6. Yeah. So maybe we're not trading oil today. not with Nadex anyway. Man, that was even a daily contract and it was that big. What the heck are they doing? Mm, Yeah, the out of the money. So there's a call spread out there with a top of 102.50. And again, why is it? Yeah. So the top of the call spread is 102.50. So it's a dollar, almost a dollar out of the money, and it has $65 worth of risk already for the movement. And the bottom side of that one is at 99.50. So yes, it's an out of the money call spread with $65 worth of risk. Like, no. Sorry. Yeah, way too much premium jacked into these things right now. So it looks like you're not trading them at Nadex. You're gonna have to go over in the futures market and trade them. But man, that is ugly. I hate to say it, but I think the knockout is probably the best. But I still don't like it. It's still a lot of risks. Now it's up to $60. $60. So yeah, call spreads totally not worth it in binary. So oh well. But again, futures traders even keep something tight in there. There is something, and again, the different factors on there. Again, if you're looking for kind of the burst higher, wait for it to pop, base, and pull back and go. Maybe it comes in a little bit early. We'll see. Natural gas taking a big spike up this morning as well. We had marked off a level yesterday, having it come down, and it ended up going higher and coming back. We were actually looking for a break out of this level. It looks like it just tagged it just briefly and pushed back down again, which is fine. Again, that's 1, 2, that's 3 from that initial hit. I'm cool with that one. Again, when this breaks through $5.96, I think that's another long opportunity and its ability to take advantage of this racetrack over here. We will get the inventory report today. That does come out today at, I think that's 10:30. And again, this report doesn't affect it as much as yeah, right here. Again, it's supposed to be a down draw. That may be why we're seeing it drop or move already. We'll see. Like I said, still looking for the pushover. If it rolls back a little bit, wouldn't necessarily be surprised. Gold. So gold, we talked about a level yesterday, and we talked about a Harry Potter. It kind of missed here, kind of came up and turned, and then went all the way back down again, and started to just stabilize itself. It did finally enter super super late last night, and again, you made it to right there, which is a 1 to 2 and a 2 and a quarter. So really, this is the hit we wanted. It did hit a second time and came back down again. Most likely, what would have happened is you got stopped out on break even if you've been trading this one. Again, in the overnight fashion, you're not going to be up 2.25% and then let it cost you any money, right? You're not doing that. If you are, you're not doing it right, right? You're not. It's always, set and forgetting is great, but if you have the ability to sit there and check on it, trail it, that's really what you need to do. And in this case, again, it would have saved you. But in reality, this is really where we wanted our entry, and it did, and it kind of came back down again. Had we gotten the entry on this one, right, we would have come through, and it would have hit our full profit target. So it's kind of crappy when you get front run on it, and then it gives you the second attempt, and again, it kind of didn't go through here. Actually, I guess 1 to 3 would have been there. So Again, getting front run on both sides kind of stinks. So wah wah wah. But with that said, we do know this is a level, right? We have broken through it right now. Gold now is inside of a racetrack, kind of pushing back up again. So again, we look for those. We like those. And again, if we get kind of a little bit more of a push through, we don't really have much news today, and then a pull back. Again, that could give us the opportunity to go high. They may say, how the heck can gold go higher right now? Well, it could go higher for in preparation for tomorrow. If we're already in recession, it could, if the non-farm number is already working, they could say, well, wait a second, we're not going to raise interest rates as much. It's not going to crush inflation the same way. That could make a big difference, right? Actually, let me try this. Let me see. Hold on. Let me try something here. Watch it work this way. Whoops. Can you guys hear Kip? I don't know if you can hear Kip or not. Oh my God, it worked. It gets him. I wonder why that worked. Huh. Look at that. It did work. I don't know why. Neuro, maybe your hacks kept me from doing it or something. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe I did too much. I don't know. It worked. Ernest has 2 minutes on that one. So weird. So weird. Look at that. I just took 50 of his pip chips. Look at that. Wild West shootout, and he's from Texas, and I won. I think it just rolls the dice. But look at that, baby. Take that, Ernest. Right? Take that. The snake bites you. Yeah, so I guess it does work. I don't know. So, yeah, I guess it is working now. I don't know. You have to try it. But anyway, that's gold, but I think it pushes up in preparation for tomorrow. Silver, obviously, moving as well. Silver, we're still waiting for a drop through. We did not get it yet, which is totally cool. Again, we knew we were inside of a zone. We knew we would probably have some type of movement in there. But again, 1890 and Ernest, this doesn't make any sense. It does, Ernest. It's a duel. It must roll a dice for each of us or something. I think that's how it works. I don't know. Another rig game. Yeah, I don't know. I'll give you the 50 pip chips back again since it was my account, and my account doesn't actually need the pip chips, right? Yeah. Oh, you know what's weird? Huh. I don't know. Huh. I don't know. It's funny. It changed the name. That's not the normal name. No, you'll give me 100 for my pain and suffering. Hey, you're from Texas, man. If you lose a duel in Texas, I feel like you should lose double, right? Anyway, again, 1890 is kind of where we're looking for the drop of this one as it pulls back. If anything, we're kind of in a racetrack. There will be some people here, but I think we try to shoot back towards that $20 figure. If we can get the 20 and then we have non-farm, I think that could be a shorting opportunity for tomorrow. But again, don't necessarily love it. Wait, what? 5 minutes. Oh, it went through. Now that is funny, right? Emotional distress. He's gonna need one of those dogs pretty soon, Debbie. One of those little dogs he can put in a purse. It's like the size of a squirrel. um, all right, let's look at. I skipped cryptos real quick, but again, Bitcoin's still holding high at that level. Again, we did pull back from it yesterday, and again, we're holding 20. 20 seems to be a stabilization point. Ethereum up 1.6, actually having a decent day. We're continuing to move away from it. Bonds, obviously, yesterday we talked about bonds being at the top. Again, being in an area where we're pushing through, but look for kind of a reversal. We did get it yesterday, so not necessarily surprised there. Doji having a big day. Look at this, up 2.5%. Again, it is up in an area where we have some sellers. I wouldn't be surprised if that turns and rolls. Get him a service dog, right? So the VIX is down right now, and again, there's not really any news. All the news is out for the morning. There's not much out there that can really necessarily affect this. What buddy? What buddy? Um, there's not really anything out there that will kind of affect it. Um, it should be going down. Is kind of all I'm saying, right? Um, click this off, click this off, click this off. Again, everything's out. Bullard speaking today isn't going to make necessarily the biggest move. Non-farm tomorrow is where we'll see. What? What are you doing? What? Here. Do you want this? You want this, Froggy? There we go. There's the Froggy. All right. So again, I'm not surprised the VIX is coming down. That makes complete sense. All the indices are obviously up. Let's see if we would have had any actual opening print setups. Um, Not really. I mean, your 930 is right there. I mean, if anything, you could have made a case saying, well, wait a second, there's an area right here, but where's it going to go? We know we had basing. Again, we knew we had basing here, right? And again, all I'm doing is continuing that across, right? It's an old level. Base, 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 base. So 930 is right here. Could you have taken it short? It's like, yeah, but there's a base right there. So um, right now, we're sitting in this kind of racetrack. And again, that's kind of more what you're looking for. We were looking for more of a Harry Potter trade, like if it came through. It did. It broke that old level. Again, came back. So I would say right now we're up 1%. I would say that, again, if we can make it through this 1030 reversal time frame, I think we're probably good until we get all the way back up here at 139.42. That's the next time any major sellers have really stepped in. Again, seeing a pullback now, that would be nice though. Again, if we can pull back before 1030, that could kind of catapult us higher. So I would say overall bearish. I'm sorry, overall bullish for me for the ES. Opening print setup, not really. At 9 o'clock, we're in that window. We kind of held there at 9:15. Didn't really do much, but it was bouncing between two levels. It was more about, do we have room to run before we hit an opposing zone? The answer was no. So unfortunately, no setup, and all we did was kind of drive higher. Now we're pulling back, but this may give us an opportunity to go long if we can hold and stabilize at 38.74. I would say that has the potential for a pullback. Or I'm sorry, a continued push forward. Um, Interestingly enough, the 23.6, if we do pull back again, there is that zone there that has to break through, but you can see the 23.6 level. What was it? Yeah, it was late last night. It's slicing right through. So there's a couple zones there. Again, on the 15-minute opening print, it would not have been a trade setup. There just wasn't enough room before there was a base in there. So not much we can do there. NQ, kind of the same thing. NQ did push back down again. Um, Kind of the same thinking, though. I mean, we've been in an area here, right? At the same time, there's a huge area of basing right here. And we did kind of push back down again, but the question was, would we have gotten through? So it did punch through. Reality is, though, would have been a great trade. Probably not. And actually, the way that NQ is looking, the way that it keeps poking and having some problems, if this one starts to turn red, I think this one rolls back down again and we come almost flat. This is the second strongest one for the day. But again, it is 10:18. We are getting close to 10:30. Again, punching went lower and then punched again and got turned around. It's going to run out of some people here real quick. And again, it is the 78, I guess, or the old 78. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit of pressure from the 78. So again, not 78 is not a trigger for me. That's where I kind of delete it. Um, but I know some people like the 78. They're like, no, no, no. This is the 12th one. We gotta catch every single one, right? It's not Pokemon. You don't need to catch every single level. But kind of set the same way. Take this one off. Not a whole lot there. Let's bring this across for tomorrow. And it's struggling. Problem is, there's not like a really great zone in there. I mean, on the little scalping time frames, we have the red in. We have a green qualifying candle that did not go higher than the red. It closed below here, right? Would give you a red, green, red, right? That would give you a color change on the top of a parabolic move, leading you back down to the downside, and give you something again that would look similar to this. Yeah. Problem is, it's got to go past that level. It would basically close right below the lows of the session. So, actually, I guess if we drew the box there, that would make a little bit more sense. Again, it would still have to be right at the lows of the session. So, something along those lines. So, and again, NQ is in the middle of the pack, right? But the big thing is it is 10, it is 10:30, big push forward. This is when the reversals come. You know, please try again later. Okay, don't know what that is. All right. All right. YM. Let's see if YM gave us anything better. Come on. Oh, that was nice. Power just flickered. Yeah, where 930 is. I mean, again, it was rallying up beforehand. It wasn't in a zone, right? So again, not an opening print, not even really an opening trap because the trap would have occurred here, right? This broke through at 9, 9:15, 9:30. It was already kind of opening above, so yeah, not really an opening print. Let's see, fib wise, where the fib line would come back in at. Yeah, there could be a case made right there, right? And again, really, really, I guess the peak was really the 9:30, right? It pushed up here, peaked at 9:45, and is now pushing back down again. So again, you could make an argument that this is heading straight down again. If this catches some buyers here, at the 23.6 to punch it higher, you could make a case for that, but it would not have been an opening print, not a setup today. Get some of these old ones out there and sub this off just to make it a little easier to see. I hear you, buddy. Mm-hmm. Subset in there. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can hear him or not. He's making all kinds of noise. He's definitely louder than Jin was. Which space is that? 400, yeah. Horizontal. The eighth at. Yeah, look at this one turning straight back down. So I just wanted to mark that off for tomorrow. By some chance, if we can go up in the overnight, that's quite a move, right? That's quite a move all the way up. I mean, that puts us up down here at what 31.7. I mean, that'd be a heck of a move. Not to say that it can't happen, but you know, yeah. Um. All right. So YM wise, if we can get a bounce down here, let's see where that level is. There could be a potential long off this one, 31.084. Again, it's a level that's been there. Would not have been an opening print trade again. Let's see if Russell gave us one today. Now, Russell had the same type of spike. 9:15, 9:30 is right here, and again, not even in range. So again, another day with no opening print setups. This one did go above this. Let's see. Yeah, that's what it ran off of. So, if you're wondering what this is called a support and resistance trap. A parabolic move to a prior pivot where everybody's like, "Oh, look at that! There's resistance right there." And if it breaks through, everybody go long, and then we're immediately stopped out. So let's see. Let's move some of these out of the way. 2, 3. Good with that. Pull this. Oops. Cancel. Pull this. 61.8 has not been hit in that direction. Mm, see it front around the 78. Let's take this from here up. What? Here. Here. Hmm. Here. Bribing my son with York peppermint patties, just so you guys know. Just pull a small piece off. He likes some York peppermint patties. Anyway, after this enormous push up in the Russell, again, seeing this kind of have a little bit of a top in there. Again, kind of the same thinking. Again, a little bit farther behind that red, green, red. But if we do see some type of basing, right, a little bit lower and kind of a pullback, it is a parabolic move. So there could actually be a short put in here. Again, Russell is technically the strongest right now. So this would definitely be a counterplay. But again, the 1 to 3, obviously well within range. And again, there's a couple reasons why the turn could have happened where it did. Um, you know, so. Eh. Eh, it's there. It is what it is. You know. Hmm. Yeah, I'd look for more of the reversal. I still think this is again, if we get that close on the lower time frame, which again we haven't yet. Yeah, see that red just invalidated. The red did not close below this, so again it messes up the red, green, red. We don't have a confirmation in here yet, so no confirmation in. And ES pulling back. So yeah, this is the time. This is 10:30. So let's see. Is there a headline that came out? No, just man. Nope. No headlines. Look at this. 0 in 24 hours. -3 in 24 hours. 19, right? Again, this is the most substantial one right here. -66 euro pound, right? And again, they're starting to 120 is under an ATR, so is this one. So it's starting to shrink. Starting to shrink. And again, we have natural gas coming out. Let's see we'll have natural gas coming out in 3 minutes. So see if there's anything in NQ. Yes, buddy. Yeah, NQ is really starting to, again, starting to really push back down to the downside. Again, it was kind of like Europeans shot this thing straight up. There's the European Open, right? There's the European Open. You're starting to see it already start to move. So again, I'm wondering if that's foreshadowing what we're going to see. Could be, could be. Like I said, natural gas is a little bit of a weird one. Let's see. There's your 35 and 1. How did that hit? It hit 9. There's a few levels in here, but nothing. It was 906. I don't think we can get down that far. Problem is, there's been no stabilization. Like literally, it just stayed in that same area from 10 o'clock on. Um, Kind of what we're looking at, right? Came up, stabilized on top of it, touched it to confirm they're there. It touched it, it's having some problems right now. 1 minute to go. Um, Looking more like that one. But again, I don't really, again, the 35 and 1 strategy, we want the price to stop. We want it to drive into a level and then stop and pause. It is not. This does not count as a pause from what 9:55 till now. This is not what we're looking for. We're looking for something like this, where it comes up and then stops inside of a level. So yeah, let's see. We got about 30 seconds or so. So let's go ahead and we'll do the drawing and we'll come back to that one and kind of see where it goes. Let's make this bigger so you guys can see it. Does that on the other page? Yes, buddy. All right. So 6 and who we got in here? We got Will. We got Neuro. We got Ernest. We got Debbie. We got Renee. We got Icky. All right. No Sean again today. I know it's summertime. Sean is probably partying it up. Right. With that, let's close down. Ernest won yesterday, so Ernest is an advantage, but not a huge advantage. But Ernest, I did give you the 50 points back, by the way. Just again, for a matter of science, for testing, right? Testing purposes. Hold on, buddy. Here, here, here. Yes. I keep telling myself this is good because I give him the like tiny sliver of the York peppermint patty. and he's picking up with his like pincher movement. So telling it's developmental, right? Kid's 9 months old. Actually, he's 9 months old tomorrow, and I feed this kid everything. All right, winner of today's drawing is, look at that. Ernest going with low probabilities. Look at that. Not low probability. I mean, he had a 25% chance of winning, but yesterday he went against four. We didn't ban him. I don't know. No, not really, right? Right? All right, Ernest won. And again, I don't know why Neuro, it didn't work for you, right? Duel, Neuromancer, 9K, 50. There you go. Now it's working. There it's working now, right? I don't know why, it wanted to, do its thing. So, all right. So let me give Ernest his, give him his 100 pip chips. Let's see. Let's do your 100 so you can see it. I already give you your 50 back again, just so you know. But look at that. Sean, he keeps missing this. Look at this. Sean right here, right? Sean is within striking distance, but you can't get points if you don't show up. So you don't show up. All right, let's see what this one did. Ooh. Ooh, look at that. That's quite a nice little miss there. Supposed to come in at 75 lower than before, and we were only at 50. So let's go. So yeah. There you go, guys. Ding ding. Strike another one up for the news breakout, right? Again, didn't have the hold, but it went right back to the zone that we were based and confirmed with, and we were right there. Look at this. It's like the market knew, drove it straight down, and what was the result? Bing! Off to the top side. Look at it. It blew through completely through the Harry Potter trade. So, yeah, I mean, quite a large move, right? Look at that. Now it's up 11% on the day. Woo! How much was that? That was what? 575. That's like a 50-cent move. That's a big move. Yeah. 10% move. Look at that. We're 11.11%. And again, had to set that one up right there. Pulled right back down into the zone that was confirmed. So ding, 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 ding. Another news breakout trade. All right, with that said, I'm out of here at 10:32. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Don't forget, non-farm is probably going to be a big one tomorrow. Everybody's trying to telegraph how big it potentially could be. Look for the overnight movement. The overnight movement I think is really kind of, I think that's what's going to matter the most is what that overnight movement looks like. So again, and if you're really looking for retracements, again, there'll be a lot of people seeing this number, a big move up, look for somewhat of a retracement back again. But again, I'd be very cautious. Not as big of a volume-based market. So again, everything's a little different with natural gas. So with that said, I'm out of here. Happy trading today. I will catch you tomorrow morning right after non-farm. Take care.